And sooner or later, we just got to realize that we got to quit trying to understand women, okay? Because let me tell you why. Women understand women and them bitches hate each other. But besides that, we need to accept the fact that there is outside forces in this universe that are working completely against how your woman looks at you and acts towards you, that we as men are in no way anywhere close to being capable of even attacking or defeating these outside forces. Let me tell you where I'm going with this, all right? I got a buddy of mine called me up on the phone, all right? Him and his woman was having problems about a week ago. They finally split. Shocker. I knew she was going to leave his ass. Not saying he's the worst man in the world, but he's definitely not the best. Okay? He took her for granted. Men, we do that. We have a bad habit of getting in this little avenue where we think that this is how we're supposed to be treated, when in reality, it takes a very strong, very devoted, and very loyal woman to treat you this way. This woman cooked for him, cleaned for him, took care of the kids. He had a lunch to go to work with every morning. Okay? He didn't have to worry about scheduling holidays or anything, birthday parties, nothing like that. And he took her ass for granted. I don't care if he sees this video, because I told him the same thing on the phone. Now, with that being said, the only question he had was that about 3 days before she moved out, they sat down in the living room and they had a full-out conversation about what they were going to do with their family, because they had 2 kids. They both decided, just them 2 in there together, that they were going to try to work it out and start with a clean slate. So they put everything that bothered each other on the table at one time and they talked it all out. They were there for hours. They woke up the next morning, ate breakfast as a family. Everything was perfectly fine that morning. He got home from work that evening, and the only thing that they had talked about was what they were going to do for dinner all day. So there was no ill discussion or anything like that. Now, he got home from work that evening, walked in, she's sitting on the couch. She said, "You need to come have a seat." She informed him that she no longer wanted to try to give it another shot, that the amount of emotional abuse and taken for granted over the last years have just equated to too much for her to try to overlook and continue on in this relationship. Now, he called me, he said, "Zach, we didn't argue that day. We didn't talk that day. Why did she change her mind after she was so sure that she was willing to try the night before?" I said, "Buddy, you got to understand something about women. All right, every woman in this world don't make a decision without outside influence. All right, so what happened was she decided she was going to give you another try. After she had been complaining to the council, aka her friend group in her group chat in her phone for the last month, trying to decide how she was going to address this with you. She let her council know that she was going to give you another chance, and they disagreed with the decision. They vetoed her decision. And not only that, they gave her the decision in a unanimous vote to leave your ass, and that's exactly what she did. We as men cannot combat the council. When you get a group of women who have been together since high school and seen every kind of man in between them at all times, you can't battle that. And there is one force that is even stronger than the council when it comes to women. If you piss your woman off, if you ever piss your woman off bad enough for her to go tell her daddy the type of man that you really are, she ain't coming back. And your body will probably never be found. If you ever piss her off to where she goes to her daddy, you done. Pack your shit, get gone. You ain't never coming back. And if you do come back, it's going to be by a court order to pick up your kids for a 24-hour period. We can't win, man. Ain't happening. Just accept it and go on with your life. Shit.